let's try that one more time. So I'm Greg, and this is Oz by Drone, or at least it's half of Oz by Drone. Normally I have my daughter here and she's helping controlling and doing all of that magic stuff. And without her here today, I was a little bit unprepared, but it is what it is. So what I was saying, I'm going to do things a little bit differently to the normal Oz by Drone show today. So I'm going to, in a couple of minutes, start Rendezvous, which is the stuff that we use to bring in our guests normally. And I'm going to make it free for all. Whoever wants to come in and chat and do some stuff about, you know, the event, come in. We'll put you up on the screen. And we're just going to have some fun. We're going to listen to see what happens and chat about it and do whatever else we feel like doing. Apologies, by the way, for a little bit of the noise in the background. I've got a heater that's sitting next to me today. So apologies for the noise. Normally I heat up the room before I do the show in the morning, but considering it's 11:32 p.m, I didn't remember to heat it up beforehand. But anyway, so let's get started. So I'm going to do this rendezvous thing right now, and bear with me as I do some of that. Open rendezvous dashboard. Here we go. Start session. Click to copy, and I'll just jump into a YouTube window as well and paste it into the chat. Anyway, so how is everyone doing tonight? And certainly in the comments while I'm just bringing this up, tell me what you're thinking about, you know, the news, the rumors, what have you heard, anything at all that you want to talk about. And we'll go to that event there. And into the chat, I will paste the link. And a little bit later on, one of my regulars, if you could repaste that link every now and again in case someone else wants to join in, that would be really helpful. Save me from doing that. Okay. So let me go and press a few buttons and get some chats up. Yes, Caleb, it is very, very cold down here. It's, what temperature is it? Hang on. Hey Siri, what's the temperature in Sydney?
In Sydney, Australia, it's 12 degrees.
So that's 12 degrees in real temperature, not those legacy things that you use in the backwards parts of the world. Oops, did I say that out loud? Anyway, so with that in mind, as I said before, anyone who wants to come on is welcome to do so. The link that I sent a few moments ago, if you paste that into a web browser, anything other than Safari, I believe, will work. But certainly Chrome and Firefox is preferred. So while we're waiting for that, I'm just going to press a few buttons, and I'm going to do this.
A flight. But did you think we'd stop there? Let us take you beyond the horizon, where something incredible awaits. It's about time.
So I just wanted to test to make sure that once the actual live stream starts that I would be able to get it up. Can I just get you guys to confirm you can hear it? And hello Chris, how you doing? I've turned the audio down, but just please do confirm that you can hear the simulcast thing. Okay, so we don't have anyone volunteering to come into the chat yet. Can we call a scammer while we're waiting, Caleb? Yeah, I had fun with that. I had so much fun. You have absolutely no idea how much fun I had. Anyway. Is Chris at the event? I'd be curious if he was. You're on a conference call, so cannot listen for now. Okay, thanks, Dennis. And by the way, thanks to everyone who does participate in a lot of the stuff that we do on the channel. It is very much appreciated. So many messages coming in, and I've got so many buttons to push. But I've learned out a new thing with this software where I can do this thing with playlists. So I'm just experimenting and having some fun while we're waiting for the event to start. Chris, I said a little while ago that this is an open line tonight, and there is a URL if you or anyone else wants to come in and chat while we're live. Please do that. It's just, in Australia we have this thing, we call it open line radio. So I mean, you've got call-in radio programs. I'm sure we call it open line. So if you have a look back in the chat, yeah, Ed Ricker is there. I got his message. Let me see if I can put it back on the screen. That was the one from Ed that he tweeted out earlier this evening. So he is definitely there. Hello, Steve Mack. Hello, Weedman Photography. Hello, Dennis Lovelady. Steve Mack. By the way, I just want to share with everyone, I've been putting together a website, and it's something that is designed to get together in one place a lot of the drone channels that I'm finding on the internet. It's not everything, unfortunately, yet, and it takes time to add them in. Let me open up another window and I'll see if I can bring it up for you. Caleb, you don't need to have Wirecast to come on, you just need a web browser. So that link that I put up before, go back into the chat, and if someone can cut and paste and recopy that link that's got a wrench, that'd be really helpful. Let me do that now, hang on. YouTube, log into my own channel, yada yada yada. I should have a pop-out chat window so I can do that. There we go. Pop-out chat. And get rid of that, I don't need to watch myself. So a couple of things. I'll just share first of all. Just wait for that message to come up here. You'll hop back in when you're live with it. Thanks, Chris. So this is a list of channels that I'm about to put up on the screen. www.gregkunert.com/public/channel. Like I said, I've been kind of compiling a list of drone-related channels. Just so that it makes it easy for us to go and have a look for that topic so that we can support them. So, you know, I really encourage anyone here to have a look at that. So let me see if I can work out some of this software here. I'm just clearing the list of old chat messages so they don't keep coming back up. There's too many of them. That's the problem. Anyway, so is there anyone, and my computer just froze. My chat software just froze. Oops. Okay, restart the web browser. What fun we have. Is there anyone who would like to come on and be on the screen as we have this event today? I can tap dance if you like while we're waiting. I was hoping someone was going to come in and chat. But anyway, it's all good. Also, my dear Rick, thanks for the list. I'm not Rick. Jeremiah, who did you think I was? Drone DJ has a live stream up from the event right now, so let me see if I can find that. I'm just going to leave the comments off the screen. You can all see them there. That's good enough. YouTube. Got a little monitor down here and it's very hard to see. I need my glasses. Okay, drone DJ. Thanks, Jeremiah. Drone DJ. Okay, let's see if we can get that a little bit of audio for that. Nope, no audio, or at least not at this end. Oh, that's because I got that. There we go. So, by the way, while we're waiting, I might turn on my Mel chat thing a little bit later, 400 AGL. See if you can fly the sunrise. You'll be back after a few minutes. Okay, maybe I'll turn it on later then. Good morning, J Ray FPV. Good morning. So how you been feeling? I've been sick for the last week. Yeah, I was sick too. Well, I had surgery on my nose. But that's another story. I might leave that off the YouTube thing there because that's, while he's live streaming it, it's not particularly interesting. Where are we? I'll put it back on the page we had before, which was the there we go. Hello 4x4 camping. So when the DJI launch event will start? Theoretically it starts at midnight. So I came in here early and my intent was to be here early enough to invite people in to come and chat and to join in the show. If I started it right on the dot at midnight, I thought to myself, no one will either be ready or want to come in. So let me paste that link again. How's the battle of the green screens? Yeah. So, speaking of which, it was so cool having Rick on recently. He is the green screen master. He loves it, and he does it very, very well. So I was hoping he was going to have some green screen action when he came on the show the other day, but he just got off a plane and didn't have time. Speaking of which, I want to tell you that tomorrow at about 11:30 Sydney time, which I think is 8:30 Central, I'll be live streaming at that time with the intent of sharing how and what you've got to do to win a Tello drone that was donated recently by Rick. So if you want to win a Tello tomorrow, it should be roughly after Ken's show. I'll be talking about how to do that. Hey Malice Vex, where are you based on, Malice? Where are you based? Anyway, is the list only 100% drone channels, or do some have mixed content? Some do have mixed content, but it's mostly drone related. So it's people who, I've just got my own eye that I run over it. I look at channels that I see participating, and if I think they've got enough content, then I put them in there. I'm going to make something a little bit better later. Whereabouts in New South Wales, Malice? Dubbo, okay. I have lots of videos that go into that, you know, sharing about Australia segment, and it was awesome to have, you know, we've got Greg Hilton who puts that together every single time. Steve, you can definitely enter. Just because you've won once, it doesn't mean you can't win again. But let's talk about it. I'm going to tell people now what it is you've got to do. So the people who are watching this stream right now are the dedicated Oz droners. May as well let you know what you've got to do. So you don't have to do anything. What you need to do is to help me to get someone to win the Osmo, which I'm also giving away. So you have to, there's an existing competition where you've got to say, I want to win the DJI Osmo Mobile. So what you need to do is to ask your friend to enter. So let's say Chris Hope, who's in the channel at the moment, let's pretend Chris is telling Bill Smith. Bill will post an entry in the Osmo competition which says, Chris Hope told me to say I want to win the DJI Osmo Mobile. So when he does that, he's entering the competition, but Chris, who told him, gets an entry in to win the Tello. That's what you need to do. You don't need to do anything. You need to ask some friends to do it. You can also enter directly to win the Tello, but we'll talk about that soon. Anyway, Jeremiah, okay, just wondering because I have some drone tutorials on my channel, but I have other content as well. So Jeremiah, are you already on the list? And if you are, that's perfectly okay. And if you're not, I'm not going to put it on now. Usually the way that I get a lot of the channel names is from the Canadian Drone Network. Those guys have a nice stream where they're, featuring different creators. And, I'm getting their details of their channels and putting it together from there. Walker 2508. So Ken's show starts tomorrow in Aussie time at 10 a.m. So mine will be at 11:30. Anyway, my show, look, I'm literally going to do a quick short live stream where I'm going to explain exactly what I've told you all today anyway, but I'll make it a little bit clearer and have some pretty pictures and graphics if I've got time to pull them together. Haven't done it yet. Okay, 4x4 thumbs up, people. Yeah, please do that. It doesn't hurt. Thanks. Caleb is here for rendezvous. Finally, we've got someone who decided they wanted to take the challenge. But at the moment, Caleb, I've got a black screen from you. Oh no, there we go. Let's go and press a few buttons. No one can hear you yet, so just give me a moment. I've got to do some magic over here. And I'll throw you on that screen there. And then I will also throw you on that audio source over there and tap dance a little bit. Change source C, Caleb. I think that'll work. There we go. Are you there, Caleb? We can see him, but we still can't hear him. Let me double check. At this end, I've definitely got you added and you're in the live output, but if we can't hear you, your mic's not getting routed to the software. So have a little play your end.
Is this working?
It's working. Hey, how you doing?
Good. How are you?
Good, thank you. And in fact, it's working so well that I can hear you twice. So I've just got to do some magic to prevent me from hearing an echo in my ear. Otherwise, I'm going to get very, very lost. So let me just do that now quickly. And like I said, normally my daughter does all of this stuff. So you've got to bear with me as I try to muddle through. Let's try again. You there?
Yeah,
okay.
I'm here.
Okay, that's better.
I don't have a very good Wi-Fi right now because I'm actually on vacation. Should hold it in there.
Okay, no problem. Whereabouts are you from, Caleb? What area?
I'm actually from New Jersey in the United States. Okay. And right now I'm in North Carolina.
Okay. I've been to North Carolina a few times for work in Cary.
Okay. Okay. Right now I'm actually in the Outer Banks.
Okay.
It's beautiful. It's right on the coast.
Okay. And what do you fly?
I fly the DJI Phantom 4 Pro Plus.
Okay. Yeah, I got a 4 Pro myself. I just wish there was an upgrade path without needing to buy a whole new drone. That really, really, really irks me.
Yeah. I wish they did. I hope they're going to do that soon, like a swappable camera payload.
Yeah. Look, well, we'll see tonight, but if we believe the advertising, that's certainly what's going to happen today. But I just wish there was an upgrade path on the Phantom 4 where you could replace the remote and maybe one board in your original Phantom 4. I just don't have the cash to go and splash on a brand new drone just for the OcuSync. It is good, but it's Anyway, Caleb,
I've been looking at like the Inspire 2, and it's a beautiful drone. I know Ken and Billy Kyle just got him, and but it's the drone itself is like $3,000, and then you got to add the camera on top of that, and you know the remote, the batteries. It adds up quickly. And
it's even worse in Australia by the time you have a look at our prices. You know, we have like 20 or 25%. Even if you just do the direct currency conversion, think 20 or 25% extra just for getting it to the other side of the world. But anyway.
Wow.
Yeah. Okay, Caleb, have you got it? Let's have a look. If I go and press another button over here and have a look, see Caleb's channel on YouTube. Unless you don't want me to.
Yeah. No, that's fine.
Let me see if I can find it. There he is.
Yeah, I do drone videos. I do special effects stuff occasionally. So yeah.
Okay, so yeah, everyone here, go check out Caleb and have a look at his channel. It's what type of special effects do you do?
I do a bunch of different stuff, mostly with mostly in After Effects, Adobe After Effects. Doing things like using green screen to go on a building when you can't do that in real life. You couldn't really get access to a certain building or something. I also play around with a lot of like masks to mask out, say like a string to hold an object, so it looks like you could be levitating an object where you're just using string, and it's really cool stuff.
Okay. That's cool. So I've just got another guy who's just joined in the background. We've got Mel the Phantom Trucker. I'm going to bring up Mel. Thanks for coming on, Caleb, and saying hi. I will drop you off, though, because otherwise I'm, Australian backward bandwidth. We don't have...
yeah, that's fine.
Thanks for dropping in, though. Let me now press some buttons to bring Mel on. See you soon. Okay, so Caleb is going bye-byes, and I'll go over here and tap dance, change source C, Phantom Trucker, and I'll do it over here as well. Change source C, Phantom Trucker, and Mel. How you doing?
Good morning, sir.
Oh, it's done it again. I've got the echo. I've got to kill your echo on my other thing. I'll fix that up. There we go. Turn off that. That's better. Thanks for coming on as well, Mel. You're definitely the inspirational guy, as we were chatting about the Inspire a few moments ago.
Yeah, I've got two of them.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
Both Inspire 1's version 2, and all I need to do to make either one of them a Pro is put a $1,800 X5 camera under it.
Okay. Okay, that's nice. Speaking of X cameras and whatnot, I've got a DJI Osmo that I bought, and that was I bought that, and then I was giving away my mobile, right? The Osmo,
Okay.
when I got it, was an Osmo Plus, and it never worked from day one. And unfortunately, the retailer I bought it from was a pop-up store that has lots of stores in other states, but only this one store in New South Wales. So they went away. So I had to, instead of just dealing with the retailer, I had to send it off to DJI. So they sent it back to me, and it did exactly the same thing as soon as it got back. But even worse than that, the rosette mount on the side got so hot that it almost physically burnt me when I touched it. So it was absolutely insane. And I sent it back to them again, and they're claiming that there's nothing wrong with it. So when I get it back from DJI, I'm going to have it in here in the studio, and I'll do a live unboxing, and I'll get out a thermal camera just to show how hot it really is. Anyway.
Wow.
Anyway, that's another story. We'll see how it goes. So we're getting close to the event. We're about 2.5 minutes out. So I might leave you your audio there, but I'm going to go and get the video back up. So bear with us, Mr. Mel, as I press some buttons and do some magic.
Make me go away.
How could I get rid of you, Mel? So on that web page, they've still only got the eye. So hopefully very, very soon, and that's going to change into something else. Otherwise, this is going to be a very boring show.
Yeah, exactly. That's what happened to me yesterday. I tell you, for my stream last night,
Yeah.
I was in Arizona yesterday morning. A few hundred miles later, I made a delivery up in the LA basin, basically, Riverside area.
Yeah. There was nothing boring about that. There was nothing boring
Then
about that. You know, Mel, I see.
I got down here.
Oh, here we go. We've got a countdown.
All right.
I see
I was
people.
talking with the parking attendant
Yeah.
that writes you tickets if you don't pay to park here where I'm at. Just to make sure that I did everything correctly, because it's a whole lot cheaper to pay for the parking than it is the ticket, I'm sure. So at 15 minutes after the hour, I was still talking to him, and I still had to download the broadcaster on my laptop, get the second camera working and everything. Oh, it was, so I didn't have any time to prepare much of anything for the show. That's why I thought, I'm just going to run a camera number 2 and show the harbor and let everybody talk, open chat, whatever they want.
But you know what? I've seen people, you know, broadcasting things that I consider to be absolutely boring. And yeah, anyway, I'll leave it at that.
Well, I didn't think it was kind of, oh, well, it's okay. I just didn't have any material prepared because I was working all day.
Yeah, no problem. So let me turn up the audio.
Yeah, can we get audio from that? Are they running live yet, or are they still on the timer?
Well, I've got a still shot. The program will begin shortly, so... So the timer's gone. See, unlike Oz by Drone, when our timer goes off, we go live. I pride myself in that. I pride myself. I wrote a piece of software in JavaScript to do that timer, so it's actually using the real time. Anyway, there you go. So as I was saying though, Mel, I see people, you know, that are broadcasting. There's one that I see that's you know, primitive cooking and hunting of fish.
Oh, yeah.
You know that one?
Yeah, I know the one.
But the only reason people watch it, they've got a few girls dressed up in some tight clothing who are doing the hunting.
Yeah, or less than, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, well.
Yep. Hey, let's face it. If I had some, you know, little squeaky she'd be holding my drones up doing hand launches and things on my videos, you know.
Yeah, absolutely. So there is actually another YouTube event that DJI themselves have, but I hope you're going to stick with me instead of chatting on their one, because we're more fun.
Well, my plan was to be here. My brother-in-law is bringing me a car, one of his cars, family cars, in a little bit. So when he knocks on the door, I'll have to go away for a few minutes. But
okay. By the way, Mel, can you do me a favor and every now and again plug in the URL for the rendezvous thing? Yeah.
Absolutely.
Just in case there's anyone else who wants to jump on.
In fact, I think I've still got it on my clipboard. If I just hit Control-V and enter, it ought to go.
Sounds
there
good.
It is. Look at that.
While you're doing that, let me go and see if there's any tweets over here. Search for DJI. There we go. Sons of Halifax, now is the big day. What else have we got here?
I had a couple of people ask me last night which of the 2 drones I was buying. My reply was, I have 6 DJI drones. I go full throttle when I go things, so which one do you think I'm buying?
All of the above.
If I had the money, it's absolutely what I would do.
Yeah.
But
I'll put you back on the screen at the minute because there's nothing much happening there. Yeah.
Are you able to monitor that, or do you want me to monitor it for you?
No, I can monitor it. I've got it on my little... I've got this little monitor I bought. It's tiny, tiny, tiny thing. And the only reason I purchased it was I play video on it, which Wirecast then captures, because for some reason it doesn't have a built-in... Ooh. My monitor just turned off.
Speaking of monitors...
it's back. It's back. I turned off my heater in here because it was getting too hot now. And then all of a sudden, maybe it was on the same circuit and it was a bit of an overload for it. I don't know. Anyway, it's all good.
I'm getting the chat on the program, but it doesn't appear to be coming through.
Oh, you mean that software? I haven't opened up the firewall. My bad.
Well, that would be why mine's not coming through. I've been clicking away for nothing here.
I didn't do it because I didn't want to have you, how to say, I didn't want to inconvenience you at this time of the day because I thought you might be working or whatever.
No, I'm off for the next couple days.
Oh, okay. But in this case, I've got the computer in front of me and I can click it and I'm not doing more complicated stuff, so it's all good.
Okay. Well, I did open it up so that I could do that if you wanted, so.
Yeah. I can see iSpike, who can see Ed Ricker and Billy Kyle. So
I watched Bill the Drone Reviewer's live stream a few minutes ago, and
yeah, I watched as well.
Ken and Billy walked through his shot behind him there for a minute. They walked by.
Let me just put it full screen there.
I sent a text to Ken and said, I hope you guys have a good time today.
So that was Dobo Ken or Ken?
No, Dobo Ken. Ken's in Tennessee. He's not at the event.
Okay. Funkadelic.
Morning, Spike.
Okay. I think most of us thought the Pro would cost more than the Zoom, but recent reports are saying that the Zoom is going to cost more. What are your thoughts on this? Well, until we actually see, and here we go, we have stuff. Let's get the audio up. Why am I not getting audio?
I see Billy and Ken.
Let me
Yeah, let's get the audio. Can you?
Product communication lead here at DJI, and today we're going to talk about some incredible new products. In fact, some of you may have already seen a few images of these products. You might even know some of the features.
I'm going to mute my mic.
But I can tell you that they don't compare to what you're about to see today. We believe that these products are going to inspire your creativity and open a whole new world of possibilities for drone technology, because that's what DJI is all about. Since our beginning 12 years ago, our mission has been to create aerial and handheld imaging technology that allows anyone to capture amazing images that were never possible before. And we make this groundbreaking technology accessible to anyone, because it can do more than just take photos and videos, like this one of K2, the second highest mountain summit in the world. It was shot last month by mountaineer and drone pilot Bartek Bargil with the DJI Mavic Pro. This image is absolutely incredible because it's shot at an altitude of 26,700 feet, where most humans have never been before. And it's well over the 16,000-foot altitude that Mavic Pro was designed to fly. While this image was making headlines around the world for its jaw-dropping perspective, another story was already developing. Another climber named Rick Allen had gone missing during a solo attempt to set a new route on nearby Broad Peak. Unable to find him, his fellow climbers thought he had died. But in fact, Rick had survived a 100-foot fall and spent nearly 36 hours hanging on to the side of the mountain, waiting and hoping to be rescued. Having just flown his Mavic to capture that image of K2, Bartek heard about Rick and used his DJI Mavic Pro to help find him. Here you can see footage from the drone as it approached the area where they thought Rick might be. The live view confirmed that Rick was alive, and the GPS coordinates from the drone helped emergency teams determine his exact location to plan a daring mountain rescue. Now I'm happy to tell you that Rick survived, suffering not much more than a few cuts and a little bit of frostbite. And as amazing as it is, Rick's story of a drone being used to help save his life is not unique. In fact, we've been keeping track of how many people have been rescued with the help of a drone. We're at 144, with more being added every month. It's stories like these that fuel our passion for innovation, that push our teams to the limit when designing new drone technology. We've pushed relentlessly to create products that are easy to use, portable enough to go with you almost anywhere, and powerful enough to capture epic moments in stunning detail. That's why DJI drones, and the Mavic Pro in particular, have become essential tools alongside DSLR cameras in the gear bags of many of today's top content creators, including photographers, videographers, and journalists. And we're excited that you've joined us today to see the bigger picture. It was almost 2 years ago that we introduced Mavic Pro to the world as the world's first foldable camera drone. Its revolutionary design made it so small and portable that you could slip it into a camera bag and take it with you almost anywhere. And its powerful camera captured impressive photos and videos like these. Mavic Pro proved that, like the camera on your cell phone, the best flying camera is simply the one you can take everywhere. And it quickly became the world's #1 selling drone. But there's a funny thing about Mavic Pro. As the rest of the world was exploring all of the new creative possibilities that it created, our engineering team was already hard at work, thinking about how we could make it better. During this process, we asked content creators what they wanted most. A more versatile camera that broadens the variety of creative shots that can be captured. Better flight performance to fly faster and longer. And an improved obstacle sensing system to let you focus more on capturing the perfect shot. Our R&D team went back to the drawing board, reviewing every element of Mavic Pro. It took us over 2 years, and along the way, we invested over half of our R&D team into the process. The ask was simple: improve everything about Mavic Pro. Make it fly better, faster, quieter. Make the camera do more, from the performance of the sensor to how it flies through the air. Enhance what you love about the original Mavic, and add new features that unleash more creativity. And to make this drone live up to the Mavic name as the ultimate drone for creators who want to capture something incredible using a tool they can fit in their bags. The Mavic Pro set a high standard for us, and in its next iteration, I believe we've created something truly special. Let's take a look.
So this is the bit where we have the loud, funky music.
Yep.
This is the DJI Mavic 2 series.
Whoops.
They come with your choice of 2 camera options, and they're the most technologically advanced consumer drones we've ever made. And they're optimized in every way to help you create stunning aerial photos and videos. When we reimagined our flagship drone, we started with the camera and the gimbal because we noticed 2 things. First, like the image behind me, the majority of aerial content is shot at dawn and dusk when lighting is most dramatic. This meant that the camera needed to be able to capture dynamic, often dimly lit scenes with more precision. And second, we noticed that the vast majority of aerial content today focuses on broad, establishing shots like landscapes. To go beyond landscapes, you need a camera that's capable of emphasizing a specific subject. To address the first challenge, we created a more powerful camera. One with a sensor that gives superior performance across a variety of lighting conditions. Creating something this small that could fly on the airframe the size of Mavic 2 was an incredible design challenge. And to overcome it, we formed a very close partnership with one of the world's most respected camera manufacturers. We call this new drone Mavic 2 Pro. Mavic 2 Pro is the world's first drone with an integrated Hasselblad camera. And we're excited to have senior executives from Hasselblad here with us today. So thank you, John Deal and Diane DiVincenzo, for joining us for this historic moment in aerial imaging technology.
Oops.
You won't find another drone of this size that shoots higher quality images. It has a 1-inch CMOS sensor that delivers detailed 20-megapixel photos with an adjustable aperture right from the track wheel on the remote from f2.8.
So it's just interesting that they're talking about the camera. DJI owns Hasselblad, but anyway.
Or dim lighting conditions, so that you can shoot all day, especially at sunrise and sunset. It captures ultra-high definition 4K video and produces outstanding image quality with higher color depth, dynamic range, and resolution than any Mavic before it. And because it's a Hasselblad, you have access to their advanced color science. That means that you have access to the Hasselblad natural color solution for improved color and tonality in your photos. For cinematographers, Mavic 2 Pro gives you an exceptional degree of latitude in post-production. It captures 10-bit D-Log M video with 4 times as many levels of color per channel when compared to the 8-bit video found on Mavic Pro, giving you more flexibility in post without degrading the image. It also captures HDR video and supports the hybrid log gamma HDR standard, letting you play video straight from the drone onto a compatible HLG monitor with higher dynamic range and better color performance without spending time on post-production grading. To solve the second challenge of moving beyond these establishing shots, we created a camera that allowed you to get close to the action. because you need to be able to fly low, to fly close, and at the same time, not disturb the subject. This is a challenge for any drone. And like a professional photographer who pulls out a long focus lens when they can't get close enough to the subject, now, so does your DJI drone. We call this new drone Mavic 2 Zoom. It's the world's first foldable consumer drone with optical zoom. With an equivalent 24 to 48 millimeter optical zoom, plus 2 times digital zoom, it gives you an effective 96 millimeter telephoto lens for 4K lossless zoom at full HD video resolution. And its 1/2.3 sensor captures 4K video and 12 megapixel photos. The result is that we have an entirely new tool for storytelling, one that allows you to create things that capture a subject from a safe distance. With zoom, you can not only emphasize the subject, but also compose a classic image, one with a clear subject in front of a vast background like this one, with compression. This means the difference between a flat-looking aerial shot you've seen 1,000 times and being able to create using the cinematic language of Hollywood productions. Now for photographers, Mavic 2 Zoom lets you capture stunning landscapes, like this photo with a new feature we call super resolution. Super resolution automatically captures a gigantic 48 megapixel image of what you see in your 24 millimeter field of view. Using optical zoom, it shoots and stitches 9 photos together for an incredibly detailed image. All of the image processing and computational photography is done right on board the drone, so you don't have to spend time editing and stitching your photos at home. Across the Mavic 2 series, we've boosted their abilities to capture video as well. Each has a maximum bitrate of 100 megabits per second and can shoot using the new H.265 codec, meaning videos shot on Mavic 2 give you more flexibility and latitude in your post-production workflows. And your photos are going to stand out too, with Mavic 2's new enhanced dynamic range capabilities. Using eHDR, the drone takes a series of photos at different exposure levels, generating an image with high dynamic range that removes blown-out highlights and flat shadows. It delivers an incredible 13 stops of dynamic range for Mavic 2 Zoom and 14 stops for Mavic 2 Pro. And here, the results are absolutely stunning. This new feature is going to give you more ways to use Mavic 2 to capture professional quality images across a broad spectrum of lighting conditions. We couldn't be more proud of these 2 new cameras, because with Mavic 2 Zoom, we think having optical zoom at your fingertips is going to be a game changer, opening up new genres of aerial content. And Mavic 2 Pro's Hasselblad camera gives you the imaging power to create with more detail across a wider variety of lighting conditions than ever before. Back in 2012, when flying a camera was a new technique, the unique perspective a drone provided worked like a magic wand. Aerial images would automatically get a wow from anyone who saw them. 6 years later, with millions of camera drones out there and hours of aerial content created every day, it's much more difficult to impress. Content creators told us they want more magic. They want freedom, just like the Freedom Phantom offered, to move a camera anywhere in 3-dimensional space. So we asked ourselves, what could we do? What more could we offer? And we decided on the 4th dimension of time with a new feature called hyperlapse. Hyperlapse is a technique that for a long time only professionals could master. It requires movement of the camera with expensive equipment such as tracks and pods. And frequently, you're creating a shot that moves just a few feet. But with the help of a new algorithm and a more powerful onboard processor, Mavic 2 can capture aerial hyperlapses with a track length of not feet, but kilometers. And it processes the images into video literally on the fly. This feature is based on Mavic 2's ability to self-locate, estimate its attitude, and precisely track subjects. It's a big technological achievement and a huge creative achievement as well, because now producing a professional quality aerial hyperlapse is as easy as just one tap. We've created 4 hyperlapse modes, so you have creative freedom to capture the shot that's just the right look. Free, circle, course lock, and waypoint. With free mode, you have complete freedom to fly as you'd like. With Circle, the drone automatically flies in a circular pattern around a subject you select to create a video that captures the action. And Course Lock keeps the camera fixed on your subject while the drone flies in a straight path to create a unique perspective. With Waypoint, you can plan a flight path based on GPS coordinates and altitude to capture something incredibly complex, shots like this one. And for all of these modes, we're working to introduce a task library function that saves the flight plan for future shots, letting you create even more unique content like that dramatic blending of day to night. Or this hyperlapse of the Manhattan skyline that was shot yesterday and came directly from the drone without any color grading or editing. This visual effect that was once reserved for professionals now belongs to everyone. Our next feature is a truly exciting addition to the full suite of quickshot modes that DJI offers. For new content creators with limited drone flying experience, quickshots help you easily create smooth, powerful, cinematic camera moves. Just one tap sends the drone on a pre-programmed flight path while the drone automatically tracks the subject along the way. We've kept your favorites from Spark and Mavic Air, including Droney, Circle, Helix, Rocket, Boomerang, and Asteroid, and we've added one more. This new quickshot is amazing, and we created it specifically for Mavic 2 Zoom. You've seen it on the big screens in movies directed by some of the most iconic names in Hollywood, including Alfred Hitchcock, Steven Spielberg, and Martin Scorsese. It's an effect that's been used in the film industry for over 60 years, but it's been limited to those with access to professional camera gear. It's my favorite quickshot yet, and it's called Dolly Zoom. Dolly Zoom lets you bring an otherworldly, warped perspective to your storytelling. With just one tap, the drone zooms in as it flies backward, keeping the subject the same size while the full background of the scene is revealed. It adds suspense and drama to any story. With Dolly Zoom, Mavic 2 now has 7 quick shots to choose from, and we think you're going to love having all of them available at your fingertips. At the core of our intelligent features like hyperlapse and quick shots is our ActiveTrack technology. ActiveTrack uses complex algorithms, machine learning, computer vision, and artificial intelligence to identify and automatically follow a subject. And with Mavic 2, we gave ActiveTrack even more power. Unlike Mavic Pro, which could only see tracked objects in 2 dimensions, Mavic 2 uses all 3 forward-facing cameras to see what's in front of it and create a 3D map. New trajectory algorithms analyze motion and predict your subject's paths up to 3 seconds in the future, so your subject stays in the frame even if it momentarily goes behind an object like a tree. And it can keep pace with fast-moving action scenes as well. Now, ActiveTrack can track subjects moving as fast as the drone can fly, making this car chase possible to film entirely using ActiveTrack. We created these intelligent features on Mavic 2 to help you broaden your creative language for visual storytelling. Whether you're using hyperlapse to capture the passing of time, quick shots to help you capture a cinematic effect, or using ActiveTrack to keep your camera locked on the subject. It serves a larger goal. It's the goal we set for everything we did with Mavic 2, and that's giving you the tools and the confidence to make your creative vision a reality. When we asked photographers what they wanted most from a drone other than a new camera and more intelligent features, the simple answer was, make it as close to a DSLR as you possibly can. That is, to allow them to focus on composing the shot without worrying like things like battery power, flight time, obstacle collisions, and to have a sharp and reliable preview of the shot just like the DSLR in their hand. I have to admit, this is a challenge for our R&D team. Along the journey in creating Mavic 2, countless prototypes were made and evaluated. The result is a new drone that's been optimized in every way. It flies longer, faster, and quieter, all in the same shape as the Mavic's iconic folding design. Like Mavic Pro, it's almost the same size as a water bottle, letting you slip it in your backpack or camera bag to take it anywhere. Its redesigned, more aerodynamic airframe reduces body drag by up to 19% compared to Mavic Pro. The propellers have a raked wingtip design that improves efficiency and reduces noise, and we've added more powerful motors. They're some of the quietest we've ever created. Advanced electronic speed controllers use sine wave current to create maximum torque with minimal noise. This is a huge advancement for drone technology, and these innovations make Mavic 2 one of the quietest, most power-efficient drones of its size. These innovations deliver a record-breaking flight time of up to 31 minutes. Every single minute is one more minute for you to carefully compose your image or fly your path again for better timing. And because Mavic 2 is significantly quieter, you can get closer to your subject like this polar bear without causing a disturbance. This means you can also fly at speeds of up to 44 miles an hour, helping you push through a strong headwind or keep up with a fast-moving action scene. In addition to faster, more efficient performance, Mavic 2 gives you the highest quality live view of any DJI drone. To do it, we created a brand new transmission system called OcuSync 2.0. It switches automatically between 2.4 and 5.8 gigahertz frequencies to give you better interference resistance. And we've optimized performance by separating the uplink and downlink signals. And now they work on different frequencies, making this the most reliable transmission system we've ever developed. And even here, Mavic 2 offers important new improvements for visual creators. The live view image displays at full 1080p resolution at distances of up to 5 miles versus 1.25 with Mavic Pro. But it's not really about the distance. The stronger system means that the drone can maintain a strong link even when its environment is jammed by Wi-Fi and other electronic devices. Original resolution photos are also saved directly to your mobile device, letting you immediately share what you create without the extra step of transferring files from the drone or fussing with an SD card. And just like Mavic Air, the days of forgetting to put your SD card in the drone, or worse, leaving it at home, are a thing of the past. Mavic 2 has 8 gigabytes of onboard storage with additional capacity using a removable SD card. As with all DJI drones, you have total control over how you store and manage your data using our secure products. These design improvements and the new OcuSync 2.0 transmission system make Mavic 2 one of the fastest, quietest, and most reliable drones we've ever created, giving you confidence you'll be able to get the shot when it matters most. But the performance improvements of Mavic 2 don't stop there. It's also our smartest and safest drone yet. Its flight autonomy system has the most cameras and sensors we've ever created and built into a drone. Mavic 2 has stereo vision obstacle sensing in the front, bottom, and back, and a time of flight sensor on the top will help it from ascending into an object above. While using active track, a pair of brand new side obstacle avoidance sensors are engaged, increasing the drone's ability to sense its environment in more directions. These side obstacle sensors are also engaged in tripod mode. Together, the 10 sensors on Mavic 2 feed its flight autonomy system an unprecedented level of data that's processed in real time to better sense the environment around it. Now, with longer downfield front and rear sensors, we've also been able to improve Mavic 2's advanced pilot assistance system, a feature first introduced on Mavic Air. APAS uses its onboard sensors to automatically pilot the drone around obstacles so you don't lose the shot. With better sensors and algorithms, it can plot several possible paths around an object for smoother flight performance. This powerful combination of sensors and tracking technology deliver autonomous flight capabilities that give you an entirely new way to approach your shots with even more confidence in complex terrain. And at the end of your flight, when it comes time to land, our vision positioning system now includes a downward-facing LED light that turns on automatically to illuminate the landing area. This ensures high-precision landings, even in low-light situations like at sunset. Mavic 2 will also leverage our GEO system, a technology that DJI pioneered to educate pilots about their flight environment. Using GEO, pilots receive location-based notifications about where flight is limited due to regulations or safety concerns, and to automatically help keep drones away from sensitive locations like airports. In addition, our GEO system incorporates critical updates on temporary flight restrictions, such as where wildfires are happening. From takeoff to landing, Mavic 2 is the safest and smartest DJI drone you can get. Simply put, the Mavic 2 series with its Pro and Zoom editions are the best aerial imaging products we've ever created in the consumer drone category. They're a marvel of modern engineering. In the coming weeks, you're going to see breathtaking images and videos captured by Mavic 2 that would not have been possible without all of the creative technology that we've packed into them. Even better, you are going to create those images and videos. Mavic 2 Zoom and Mavic 2 Pro will give you new ways to capture inspiring photos and videos with their brand new cameras. They make creating sophisticated cinematic content easy with intelligent flight modes like hyperlapse, dolly zoom, and active track. And with OcuSync 2.0 plus 11 cameras and sensors helping the drone map and sense its environment, it's the safest and smartest drone we've ever created. Now, to tell you more about his real-world experience using it, I'd like to invite up one of the world's most renowned adventure photographers and videographers. He's a professional climber, mountaineer, and skier, and he just spent a couple of weeks in Greenland putting Mavic 2 to the test. Please join me in welcoming Jimmy Chin to the stage. Jimmy?
Good job. Hi, good morning. Thank you, Michael. It is a great pleasure and honor to be here, talk about the new Mavic 2. I was one of the few very lucky people to get to field test this piece of equipment. So today I was going to talk a little bit about my background as a professional climber, skier, photographer, and filmmaker, and also share some of my thoughts about the Mavic 2 from an end user's point of view. So I grew up in Mankato, Minnesota, which is not exactly a hotbed for high-altitude alpinists. First-generation Chinese. My parents were from China. They had very simple expectations for me. You can be a doctor, a lawyer, or go into finance, you know. So when I moved to Yosemite and became a climbing bum and lived out of my car for 7 years, they were mortified. And I would call my sister and say, hey, how are mom and dad doing? And she would say, mom just keeps repeating, I raised a homeless man. But since that time, I spent the last 20 years exploring the world, putting together kind of cutting-edge expeditions, really to all 7 continents. And
so I'm going to drop the audio and see if we can have a little bit of a chit chat while he's doing that. It's good photography stuff, but perhaps there we go. Perhaps we can have a look at some other stuff. So are you there still, Mel? I'm just trying to unmute you. Hang on, where are we? You still there, Mel?
For this Mavic 2, because I shot.
No? Okay. Maybe he'll come shortly. He's probably listening to the audio somewhere else. So just some comments from me, first of all. The zoom, optical zoom sounds really, really good. First obvious concern, there will be some privacy people going and talking about that very, very quickly. I recently did a video criticizing a TV show, and they were claiming that, that you could take all these shots, and they were giving examples of what you could do with a drone and what people are doing with a drone, and it was a load of rubbish. So the problem is now that we've got optical zoom, a lot of those things that they were doing as fictitious are now going to be possible, so that's a challenge. What else? So the HDR, high dynamic range, really good. The hyperlapse cool. For me, the really, really nice cinematographic, I hate that word, feature is the Hitchcock zoom or the dolly zoom. That's something that's a really, really big win for me. I saw that on, what was the name of that other drone? I can't think of it now. Another drone that did that first, and I thought that was really cool, but the fact that they've put that in here is really good. In fact, an interesting thing, wouldn't it be interesting if that was the one feature that they decided to put in after their aborted launch, where they thought they were about to launch but they didn't? That would be interesting. Anyway, all of that aside, active track better, yeah, cool. OcuSync 2.0, that's a big win, not because of the extended range, but certainly because of the stability of that feed. So that's a really, really big win there. With separate uplink and downlink, pretty cool. Enhanced geo, yeah. From what I gather, they're actually heading in the right direction of being able to, I mean, one of the challenges that we had in Australia is that if you want to unlock for something, you had to send an email and wait 2 or 3 weeks, and it was plug and pray. Hopefully, from what I gather, the geo system has been updated enough so that that's not going to be a problem for us going forward. But where I would really love to see that go, and this is just my personal opinion, is unlocks should be delegated via some kind of business-to-business API where the local regulator, in this case, CASA or Air Services Australia in Australia, or the FAA or equivalent, or whatever you guys have got over there, the request to unlock should go to them, and maybe pilots who already have their certifications automatically get unlocked. I really just don't like the whole thing about DJI controlling. That's just me. When should a manufacturer be a regulator? The answer is never. They should enable the regulators to be regulators. Anyway, that's just my opinion. Anyway, so what do we got happening in the background?
And then we got this image, which totally changes the scale of what we're doing. That's why I love using drones. And it's really important for me to be able to show scale and context. The other thing about trips like this is that I need reliable equipment. These are places that I can't go back to and reshoot. It has to happen at that time, and it has to happen when I'm there. The cold here, I mean, in the evenings was probably 0 degrees. Very, very cold and very windy. And so this was an awesome place to test the Mavic 2. So very reliable, that is really critical. Every piece of equipment for me is you know, very, very important. We literally cut the tags off our jackets to save weight. We cut our toothbrushes in half to save weight. It's surprising how well you can actually brush your teeth with half a toothbrush. But as you can imagine, carrying every piece of equipment, you know, we calculate very carefully. So the portability of this and the weight is amazing for me, because being able to shoot that quality footage and get photos of that quality is really, really important. I think Mavic 2 has a new 1-inch sensor that has a 20 megapixel image, and obviously able to shoot 4K. I literally can use this now on commercial productions. The other part, probably one of the other really important key features is on the Mavic 2 Zoom, which I believe is the first consumer drone that has an optical zoom. And it allows me to shoot parallax footage that normally I used to have to use a $500,000 Cineflex system on a helicopter. You know, it costs 25, 30 grand a day to operate something like that. And now we can do it with a drone that I can carry in my pack, which is amazing. I was so blown away by what we got out of this drone, and here is going to be a little piece that we shot while we were in Greenland. I was once told that there's two great risks in life: risking too much and risking too little. In the game of ski mountaineering, you know, you're kind of always trying to find that edge. When you're starting to push yourself, you start to get into higher risk terrain, higher consequences. You have to be able to make good decisions in the mountains, and there's a ton of variables. Different weather patterns, rain, snow, avalanche conditions, looking at the objectives, understanding your abilities. You're all amped up after skiing a big line and don't want to sleep. Before you know it, it's like 1 in the morning and you're still totally wired. I'm Jimmy Chin, and I'm a photographer, filmmaker. The greatest thing about the skiing and the climbing and the photography and the filmmaking is that they've been incredible vehicles to drive my exploration of the world. They give reason, they give purpose to what I do. Cool, thank you.
Thank you again, Jimmy. It's incredible to hear how a top pro like Jimmy has already used Mavic 2 to capture some stunning scenes. And I think I have to add Greenland to my list of top travel destinations. It was just incredible. I'm so excited about the Mavic 2 series. As Jimmy showed us, these new drones are going to empower you to capture creative perspectives in entirely new ways. And they come with some great accessories to help make your flying experience even better. I'm happy to tell you that we've unbundled what was previously known as the Fly More combo. Now, at any time, you can decide to buy the Fly More kit. It includes 2 additional batteries, a multi-battery charging hub, a car charger, extra propellers, and a travel bag to hold it all. Available for $319, saving you $145 if you had purchased all those accessories separately. And for additional protection, we're making DJI Care Refresh available for Mavic 2 as well. DJI Care Refresh offers a comprehensive warranty program, and it provides up to 2 replacements for a small additional charge, giving you more peace of mind every time you fly. And in the coming months, our customer service team will introduce a gimbal and camera replacement service so that you can switch the camera on the drone without having to buy an entirely new one. And for the first time, we're introducing DJI Trade Up, a technology trade-in program that lets you exchange used DJI gear and other electronics to receive credit in the DJI online store toward a new purchase. This program is available in the United States and China, and it's the perfect incentive for current DJI users to upgrade your gear. Now, for the information I know you've all been waiting for. Both of these products and their accessories will be available on DJI.com and from authorized DJI resellers around the world. Mavic 2 Zoom will retail for $1,249. Mavic 2 Pro for $1,449. Now, for those of you who are following the headlines leading up to today's event, I want to thank you for your excitement and, most importantly, your patience. I'm excited to tell you that you won't have to wait long to get your Mavic 2, because we've used this extra time to make it available now. If you purchase on DJI.com, Mavic 2 will ship right away. It's a first for DJI, and we hope it was worth the wait. We're incredibly excited about these products. We can't wait for you to get them in the air and see what you create. As with many of our products, they're used in positive ways that we could have never imagined. To save lives in some of the harshest environments known to man, to strengthen conservation and research efforts across the globe, and to perform industrial work like inspections. DJI's technology has enabled a new kind of work around the globe that has created companies and added thousands of new jobs. In fact, the FAA estimates that there's over 100,000 commercial drone pilots in the US alone. And based on what we see in other markets, we can safely say that there's hundreds of thousands of commercial drone pilots around the world using drone technology for work. This thriving ecosystem is one to watch. And we'll be celebrating it at our annual commercial drone conference called Airworks later this year. So if you use your DJI drone for work and you want to learn more about this industry, I look forward to seeing you there. Okay, that's it for today. Thank you again for joining us. We're going to end by showing a short video. All of the footage was shot on Mavic 2, and it's absolutely breathtaking. We hope it inspires you to create in new ways and to see the bigger picture. And for those of you here with us today in Brooklyn after this video is done, I invite you to come next door where you'll be able to get hands-on with the Mavic 2 series, see it in action, capturing some beautiful photos and videos of the Manhattan skyline. Thank you again for coming, and have a great day.
We cast these images into the cosmos. If another intelligent civilization intercepts this and understands us, here is our message. This is a present from a small, distant world. A world painted with majestic waters, large forests, and indescribable landforms. A world possessing an existential wealth beyond comprehension, rich with the gift of life. Floating amidst the cosmic void, this pale blue dot is but a canvas to our imagination. In a quest for understanding, we reach beyond our capabilities. We explore, we build, we find that which cannot be and make it so. Centuries pass, our science, culture, and art evolve, our very existence elevated from the ashes of ambition. And this is where we are. As empires rise and fall, we are attempting to survive our time so we may live into yours. On this endless road, we take a moment to reflect. Sharing with you
G'day, g'day. Can you hear me okay?
in a vast and awesome universe.
Yeah, I'm here. Testing, testing. Hello, hello.
Into our vision for the future.
I'm good, mate. I've got my little microphone here. Excellent. I got the headphones on too, so that should. Oh, right. I'm getting a delay on my own voice. Hang on. I'll just do that one. Can you hear me? Right. Yeah, cool. Because I've just turned the volume off the live, the other one. Yeah, your other channel. Because I've got all these screens going on at the moment. I've got a 27-inch iMac in front of me, and I've had the live split and the yours as well. So I'm going to turn it off and open you up a bit bigger here. So yeah, good to be here, mate.
There we go. I just heard some people telling me that I was muted, so I've unmuted myself. Sorry about that. But there we go. Yeah, it gets confusing. What we hear of ourselves is very different, so sorry about that.
Yeah.
So Spike, tell me, what's your first comments about what you've just seen?
Well, pretty bloody fancy, eh?
Yeah.
I mean, DJI, of course, they're, I guess, similar to Apple and how they do go about their launches and whatnot, New York and you know, it's, of course, the leaks that came out a little bit earlier took the shine off it a bit. But yeah, I guess we're going to get bombarded by all the reviews, and Ed Ricker is claiming to to have had his hands on one, and of course he was there. I saw his head, and I talk a lot with Ed in the background, and so not so much with Billy, but I saw him there as well, and it's going to be quite good to see all the upcoming reviews, you know.
Yeah, absolutely. So just going back over some of the features, and you know, I talked through it midway through it, but what are your comments on some of those specific features, Geo? Starting at that
just if I had a I don't know, what do you call it, buzzer, I'll be pressing it, because I'm not into the Geo. I don't like it. I'm with you there, Greg, as far as you know, my drone, my control, so to speak. Follow the rules and the guidelines, of course, but yeah. I mean, it's probably good for those that are unaware, the newbies and all that sort of stuff. And there's a lot of us out here. I still classify myself as a newbie. I do not have the licenses like yourself and all that. Although down the track, I guess I will. But yeah, not keen on that. I do like the upgrades of the landing lights and just the bells and whistles, the cameras, all that sort of business will be good. Yeah. Of course, that zoom, what you mentioned, it will be controversial. With the privacy seekers and all the rest of it. I must ask you, Greg, and Mr. 400, I'm sorry, I don't know your first name.
His name's Mel.
Mel, okay,
good on you. Here we go. Just before you go, let me just go back to the broadcast, because I see some stuff there.
Do it.
Very late night for those of you joining us from across the Pacific, but we are so thankful that you're here with us today. I'm Michael Oldenburg, Product Communication Lead here at DJI, and today we're going to talk about some incredible new products. In fact,
it's doing a replay.
May have already seen a few images of these products.
Let's forget that. Let's forget that. Okay, back to you.
No problem.
Press that button. There we go. So you're about to ask a question of Mel?
No. Just that it's good to know that's what the name is. I apologise for not being more attentive earlier.
It's all good. Mel, you're still there as well?
Yep, I'm still with you.
Yeah. So you got any first comments?
I missed the last tap. If it's over, I missed it. My brother-in-law just dropped off the car, so I've been outside dealing with that.
Okay. So let me do my kind of instant replay. I created a notepad window of stuff. So number one, Geo's been improved, and you know, we've commented about that before, how I don't have a problem in concept with Geo, but I'd prefer it if a regulator like CASA or the FAA or Air Services Australia was doing the approval instead of a third-party nation. That's my only comment on that. Your thoughts on Geo?
I think it's fantastic. In my job, a commercial driver, I'm in charge of sometimes 80,000 pounds moving down the highway that has the capability of killing many, many people all at one time. I believe in following the rules. There is absolutely no reason that anyone should have a problem with rules being made about geofencing to prevent us from flying in dangerous places that risk lives.
Yeah,
that's how I view it.
Yeah, I agree with the concept of Geo. The bit that I don't like is that it's a company that's not, in my case, Australian, influencing what I can and can't do in my own country, which I may have permission from a local regulator to do. So if DJI, for example, had an API or some web page where it wasn't them approving unlock requests, but it was CASA, Australian government, or Air Services, then I'd be right. Or in the US, if it was FAA that was approving requests for unlock, I would have no problem with that. I just don't like the idea of, you know, another company from another country deciding what people can and can't do.
And I get that. I really do.
Yeah.
But I don't think DJI or any other company is going to deliberately overreach the territories of where we should or shouldn't fly.
They do every day. They do every day, my friend. Every day in Australia. And I'll tell you, I'll give you a simple example. They're telling me that where I live is a place where I shouldn't be flying, and it's not a restricted area, but where they're blocking me from flying, but it's showing up that there's a heliport within a certain range. And the challenge is
Right.
that heliport doesn't exist. It was removed 10 years ago.
Understood. And you've talked about that before. But do you not have the ability to, in your app, do you not get a little warning that says you might be in a dangerous area? You accept the risk of flying and you just check mark and say, okay, and go on your way?
We haven't had that in Australia, right? So we haven't had that ability. In heliports is okay, but when you talk about larger airports, which again, I'm a licensed operator in Australia, I'll let you go and take that, Mel.
No, go ahead.
But
I'm just getting me some more coffee.
Yeah. So I guess we've had the requirement to go and send an email to DJI, which takes a substantial amount of time. Hopefully it's better, but I still am uncomfortable with a third-party nation regulating. It's like saying, just pretend it wasn't a drone, and just pretend it was a people-carrying aircraft. And all of a sudden, air traffic control in America was outsourced to the manufacturers of those aircraft. So Boeing or whatever the different manufacturers are, let's say when a Russian aircraft is entering US airspace, the Russian manufacturer could decide who could and couldn't take off. You see where I'm going?
I understand. I understand that. Yep.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I get where it could snowball into several different problems.
Yeah. Anyway, look, that's just one point. I think it's a lot better than what it was before. The communications, OcuSync 2.0, separate uplink and downlink and frequency hopping and all of that kind of stuff. Extra range. Spike, where you fly, what's...
Yeah, look, mate, you've seen my videos. Where I live is in the middle of nowhere. So we've got, I think the closest place is about 80 kilometres away that's got a small airport in a paddock. So my restrictions are limitless pretty much. Of course, abiding by the 120-metre rule and altitude and things like that, you know.
And of course, flying line of sight always.
Yes. That's what blows me away with this 7-kilometre thing, you know. I think I need to strap a pair of binoculars to my own eyes. So you look away, you look down, and look back up again. I mean, we've all done that. Where the bloody hell is it, you know?
Yeah. I think the 7-kilometre thing is they're not necessarily trying to do that in terms of the communications link. They're trying to get better comms overall, which has a side effect of going further. So the question is, should the manufacturer in each country lock down the aircraft to only go as far as it's legally allowed to go, which is, if you take line of sight, around a K, maybe a K and a half, most?
Yeah. I don't know, Greg. So, I mean, I really appreciate your level, and it's good to have gents like you in the family of, especially Australia's droning community, because you do bring up the things that a lot of us don't really think about, and that's what I mean. It's really good that there is someone like you, because otherwise, I guess we would become regulated without even realizing, or over-regulated, I should say. You know, I'm sort of a little bit with Mel in regards to, I guess, the majority, especially these past couple of years, the majority of droning people are new to it. So hence, these various things that say someone like yourself or other experienced people, excuse me, I get a little bit confused sometimes when I'm talking.
That's all right.
But that's all right. I explained that to you before, but that's all right. We're all good, and I don't want to bugger up the live thing here. It's really good to be here, I must admit.
Mate, it's all good.
Back to the question. I've forgotten.
But that's all right. So we were talking about the comms link and the 7Ks and all of that. Yeah. But let's move on.
The line of sight, mate. Yeah, as you say, it's just 1K, and that's it. You can't go beyond that.
Yeah. So Here's where I'm going to give my view. And I was asking the question: should we let the manufacturer regulate it and block us from going that far? What I personally believe, and there's a guy that I listen to, and his stream is the SUAS News. I can't think. Gary Mortimer. He's got a view that no GA below 2K. So below 2,000 feet. Anything below there, he wants to reserve and say general aviation, you shouldn't be there, except in case of emergency, for choppers doing what they do when they're doing an emergency and a rescue or something like that. And the reason for doing that is not for us drone pilots who are having fun recreationally, but to actually open up the airwaves, the altitude waves, for automation and all of that kind of stuff, which if we don't do something like that, if we don't work out how to slice up the spectrum, like you allocate frequencies in radio, it's never going to happen. Mel, what do you reckon?
I agree. I don't think it's going to happen. Not like that.
So we'll take it in two halves. Should we be blocking distance right now, locking it down to what you can do, 1 or 1.5 Ks, or let the aircraft go as far as it can go, understanding that pilots have got to comply with the law and encouraging the regulators to change the law, or do we lock it down for what it is now?
I think we need to change the law, and I think that if people are responsible and there's a hefty cost for being irresponsible, then, I mean, just like speeding in a commercial vehicle, the ticket is 3 times more than in a car. So my speed control device is in my right foot that goes on the throttle, and that's directly wired to my left hip pocket where I keep my wallet. Okay, so I kind of think it would be the same situation.
I'm just going to quickly go. I'm just going to quickly go to a comment that I've just putting up on the screen now from Droning On. That doesn't work and isn't practical. Paraglider, paramotor pilot, and we rarely hit 2,000 feet. Absolutely agree with you 100% for that. For those particular types of aircraft, they're in a different category. I believe they, in Australia, call it experimental category, or I can't remember. But no general aviation. So the rest of the traditional general aviation is something that, you know, let's keep it up there. And for people who are doing something like paramotors and whatnot, absolutely, you don't need to get up to 2,000. And in fact, Droning On, if you want to come on to oh, you're on a plane. So I guess you won't be able to come in and join the stream if I sent you a link. Maybe. Well, maybe you could. If you've got enough signal to watch the stream, you must be doing okay. So I'll post the link back in the chat room. Window, rendezvous dashboard, copy.
It's done. It's done, Greg.
Thanks, Mel. Appreciate it. Ooh, maybe not that one with the YouTubey thing. That's a bit. Let me post this one. That's a bit better.
I'm in a, let me just break in for just a minute. I'm in a text with Dennis Lovelady. That's why you keep hearing my phone sound off. He emailed me a copy of his invoice. He ordered the Mavic 2 Pro, $14.99 with the Fly More for $319 for a total $1768 US. 1 day shipping, so he'll have it tomorrow or the next day.
You know what confuses me though? Here's an interesting one. The zoom is the one that has the funky zoom and can do the new feature in terms of the dolly zoom and all of that kind of stuff. How do you justify the Pro above that?
Well, I can't, because I have the 2 Inspires with the one of my Inspires has the Z3 camera instead of the X3, which is a phenomenal camera with zoom. And I have the Phantom 4 Pro with a 1-inch sensor, and I have a Mavic Pro Platinum. So if I was going to buy one, and pull the trigger on it, I would absolutely get the zoom version just because of the different features that it has that I don't have on my other drones.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyone who's got, here's my view, anyone who's got a Phantom, don't buy a Mavic 2 Pro. Buy a Mavic 2 Zoom if you need portability and if you need zoom. By the way,
if you want the 1-inch sensor with the good Hasselblad glass and portability, that's the key. The Mavic is going to be much more portable than the Phantom series.
Always.
So, if you want that quality, but you want the portability, then get the Mavic 2 Pro.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I'd lean toward the zoom.
Yep. Yep. Just looking at a couple of things here. Dennis asking about footage from the Anafi. I think that was the one that I was talking about with the upward-facing camera. Yeah. You know what? I'm going to put it out there. They released that product, and all of a sudden DJI had to code for a dolly zoom because it's a killer feature. No one else had it. Maybe that's why they delayed the event. They had to write that code. I'm going to put it out there. Anyway. What else have we got here? Final glide. Yeah. What's the danger with flying long distance? Please. That with proving said danger. Yeah, there is no proof of that. Absolutely not. I don't know what to say. Anyway, I'll leave it at that. What else have we got? So, Spike, let me go back to you and I'll quickly have a look at the notes from the thing. Zoom, privacy, we've talked about already. HDR or hyperlapse, do you know much about them from what you've been studying with your photography, or are they new gimmicks for you that you got to work out?
Yeah, new gimmicks at the moment, Greg. Yeah, I'm still working out some of the ones that I've currently got on the Mavic Pro that I have, you know.
Yeah. So for those who didn't get it or need to learn more or whatever, HDR is where, and my wife's currently doing a photography course. This is why I know. You have a light meter and it picks, here is the perfect exposure for that particular shot. And with HDR, you take a number of stops above and below, and you're combining those multiple shots to form one overall awesomely contrasted, detailed photo. That's what HDR is. I think I explained that pretty well.
Hey, Greg.
Yeah?
Mute my mic so only you can hear me.
Yeah, I can do that if I find the right window. I've got too many windows here. There we go. You're muted. You're muted.
I can hear you well.
Hang on.
Mel?
What are you saying, Mel? Yeah. Okay, got it.
Okay.
I'll keep an eye on that. I'll keep an eye on that. I'll keep an eye on that. Yep.
See,
sorry.
He's just typing hogwash.
Okay. Well, you're back. You were back.
Yep.
You were unmuted then. Anyway, moving right along, Chad, I'm going to get you, if you feel like coming in, because we've had you in here before. I've never had
Ash
three people.
From Droning On is in chat too.
Yeah, but unfortunately he's on a plane.
Oh.
So, yeah. So Final Glide, Chad, if you want to jump on, there is a rendezvous link. Were you watching the DJI announcement? What did you think? What do you think about the topics we'd talked about before? I'll post the link again. And if anyone else wants to come in as well, you're more than welcome. I'm probably going to stay for another 10-15 minutes at the most because it's 1:10 in the morning over here. I have to be insane. So just a few minutes more. Okay. Back to my notes. Better active track, yeah. I think we've pretty much covered everything. The hyperlapse, yeah, we get that as well. But yeah, look, overall it was a good release, I think. Nothing bad.
Yes, I agree. I'm sorry, I've got Russ from 51 Drones on the other channel. I've got a couple of screens going on here, so listening to everything in the old headphones here is going off.
Yeah,
but great. It's great. I'm getting notifications also on the right-hand side here. Everyone's posting their reviews. I mean, I think we must have got, like, it was supposed to be live, but I did see one of the channels 40 minutes ago type of thing, you know, when we were just starting, you know.
Yeah.
So I don't know what that's about, Greg.
Yep, there we go. Let me just get Mr. Chad up. So we're going to break the internet. I've never had 3 people in before in Rendezvous, so it's a good test for the sake of it, but I've got to add him into the screen somewhere. Where am I?
I reckon your production skills there, Greg, as a TV station is going off.
Yeah, I'm having fun. There's Mr. Chad. Let me see if he's got audio, though. Can you talk, Chad?
Testing, 1, 2.
Not yet.
All right. I heard him.
Yeah, but the other guys can't, so I've got to go and do something here. Let me see if that works. I think if I then go like that. Yep, and there you are. Talk. Yep.
DJI is a winner. How does that sound?
Now I've just got to turn you off from something for me, otherwise I hear you twice and that gets a little bit annoying. Got it. And I'll edit your picture so you don't look so big.
So did they bring out just the 2 drones, or did they introduce the Enterprise as well?
No, they only had the 2 drones. They only had the 2 drones.
No handheld gimbal or nothing like
that?
No
handheld gimbal. That was maybe some early ideas and stuff. But let me go to you, Chad, for a second. So we were talking, or you were talking in the chat room about flying distance and all of that kind of stuff. Tell me your thoughts.
Yeah, okay. So for the other guys on the chat here, I'm the closet rebel that is always brought on to go have this sort of stuff. So as far as the geofencing and all that sort of stuff that you're talking about before, I totally agree with what you're saying, that it's scary that a manufacturer is trying to control the aircraft in that way. And when a manufacturer controls stuff like that, they always control it to their benefit. So if anyone's going to control it, it needs to be the regulating authority in that country and no one else. Yep. And like you said, there are plenty of examples there where the geofencing is wrong, incorrect, and in some cases dangerous. It's like with any kind of aviation. If there are going to be any limitations on there, it needs to be 110% correct all the time or not be there at all.
Yeah, true.
If that's the way that it's going to be in full-scale aviation, and that's the way that it is, it needs to be the same as drones. If drones are as dangerous as the governments are saying, then they need to put the same amount of effort on safety-wise for their side.
Okay. I'm going to ask you one more quick question, Chad, and actually I've got to work out how I can get you and me on the screen at the same time. I've run out of spots. Anyway, how do we manage airspace in such a way that we can, how to express it? How do we encourage the drone up-as aviation industry but still maintaining safety? What's the answer?
My answer is I think we're already doing it. Based on the fact that we're having more drone flights per day than full-scale aviation around the world, and you look at the number of accidents and incidents that are currently happening, which is stupidly low, the statistics already show for themselves exactly how dangerous or safe we are. And we are one of the safest, if not the safest, forms of aviation.
Yeah.
So if it was a safety problem, we'd be running into aircraft left, right, and center. And I'm not saying that we're never going to happen it. There's been 1 or 2 incidents of drones hitting. There's been 2 confirmed incidents of drones hitting helicopters, and that's it as far as mid-airs are concerned.
Yeah, you heard about that recent one with the chopper and the it was a crop sprayer, crop duster?
No.
It was only in the last week, and the interesting thing is that he got himself stuck in the undercarriage of the chopper, and kind of stayed there, and the chopper landed successfully without incident, without issue. Sure, granted, there are other parts of those vehicles that are more sensitive.
To answer your question, how can we encourage the UAV industry and keep things safe? I think the media needs to have a long, hard look at the way that they're portraying drones, and the government needs to have a long, hard look at how they are regulating drones, because basically none of the regulations that they're bringing into Titan and all this sort of stuff are justified when you look at the facts when it comes to actual safety, which we've already got a lot of concrete data on the safety of what's happening with these things. We still need regulation, but the problem that we've got is no one is being encouraged, because the whole industry is being strangled to death with regulation, which is not doing anything to improve safety, but all it's doing is to encourage big business, and where all the lobbyists and the money is to continue on, so that they can own the airspace, and every Joe Blogs and small time person gets kicked out of the sky. Yeah. That's the direction that we're going. So I don't if there was a safety issue, we'd already see it.
Yeah. So
and I'm not seeing that.
So let me rephrase it. How do we fix the perception of the safety issue? Is it as simple as the no GA below 2K kind of carve out a chunk of air spectrum?
Well, I mean, as far as I'm concerned, the 500 feet AGL height limit that we've got now works. I think
but here's where I think that it needs to be extended, though, right? It works for recreational flyers like us, but then if you want to go and create another layer on top of that, where you're going to have some automation and autonomous and delivery highways. Yeah.
Well, here's where I think you got to define it. It's where there's a concentration of traffic. So if we're talking, say, Class G airspace, then there's so little traffic out there that we're looking at percentages. We're looking at risk mitigation. Out there, there's very little risk. But where there is a high risk is where you're talking about populous areas, where you're talking about controlled airspace and so forth at low levels. But that's also where where a lot of the autonomous and commercial drones are going to be operating. So I think with what you're talking about with like the 2,000-foot height limit or something like that probably has more merit around populous areas, around where there's going to be a lot bigger concentration of both drones, automated drones, and aircraft, as well as people on the ground.
Yeah. Okay, let me just, it's been a good chat today, and certainly we started talking about DJI, and it kind of blew into that topic, but let me just quickly go to our other guests and see if they've got any last words. Mr. Spike?
Well, I just like to say thank you for having me here, and I look forward to when we actually schedule a proper guest appearance. Yeah, I'll be a lot more prepared than jumping in like this now. I'm quite excited to check out some of the reviews, the millions of them that are just being posted right now. Yeah. What's the time? It's
20 past 1 in the morning.
Yeah, it's 20 past 11 here. So and as you can see, I'm all rugged up. I'm in my shed here, in my shed studio. But yeah, no, really good to be here. Looking forward to all this new Mavic stuff. I think it's just a great thing. It's great to meet new people. And I'll hand it over back to the next person.
Okay, I'll go to Mel first. The mellophone.
Hey everybody. Yep, I'm here. Spike, it was good to see you. Good to put a face with the channel there, buddy. I appreciate you coming on tonight.
Yeah,
I know
thanks,
it's late for
thanks,
you.
Mel. Yeah, good
20
on you,
after 10 in the morning for me here. So, yeah, I was up late last night, had to get up early this morning so I could be involved with all this stuff because it all happened at Eastern time, and I'm on the West Coast, which is 3 more hours difference. But, Greg,
it's all good.
You had a real good, successful stream of the DJI event. I think everything went real well. We had some good discussion.
Yeah,
absolutely. Thumbs up, brother.
Thank you. And by the way, people who are still watching, please do thumbs up in the video as well. It all helps. And
that's right.
Final word from you. Obviously, DJI is not you're not a DJI fanboy.
Oh, no. I still love all the DJI stuff. I'm actually really impressed with a lot of the stuff that DJI is coming out with, and I think they're particularly with the videography that cares for the type of drone that they do. They really are paving the way, and they're showing people how to do it because people want something get out of a box and get it fly really well. They don't want to have to go through that whole process of learning to fiddle with things and so forth. And every iteration that DJI is coming at, it's kind of like the next Apple product. It's actually exciting. It's like, ooh, what are they going to bring out next? So it's really exciting to see what they're bringing out, and more power to them.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, well, we'll leave it there for today. Thanks, everyone, for joining. Oz by Drone will be on Sunday at 11 a.m. Sydney, which is 8 p.m. Central on Saturday. Also, I'm going to do a quick live stream after Ken's show, approximately 11:30 Sydney time, which should be 8:30 p.m. Central tomorrow. Purpose of that will be to discuss the giveaway of a Tello drone. So that was donated on last week's show. We'll give that away, and lots of fun.
That was Rick, wasn't it?
That was from Rick from Drone Valley. It was really nice of him to do that.
Very generous, very generous. And I'm really looking forward to winning that Osmo Mobile. I had to just throw it out there, man.
Absolutely. Okay. Look, thanks everyone for joining. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. Please do the thumbs up, and see you next time. Bye for now.
Subscribe, like, and share.
Yeah.